try not to get in your way.
I could say
Yeah. This place should do just fine. Thanks for setting up the console. I can work with this. This console looks pretty good. A little rusty in places, though. I guess you got these parts from a junkyard, huh? Resourceful. The scanner currently has a model 38X2, which is built for scanning very specific locations. Not bad, but I would like to improve it. The year before I launched, the military was rolling out some scanner upgrades. One of those could give us more speed and detail in our scans. Can you find a scanner upgrade module for this? It would help us find so much more, and much more quickly. I don't suppose you can just swing by a tech supplies store, hmm? Yeah, I didn't think so. Last I knew, these types of things were common items in military bases and compounds. But my information is admittedly out of date. I'll transfer the coordinates to a local military base, but I can't vouch for its security status. It's hard to detect anything specific right now. The upgrade module should extend the range of the scanner in our console here rather substantially. I can then cross-check some of the USSA data that you gathered from my ship's console, which will help isolate specific useful signals. Swell. In the meantime, I'll fix up this console a bit. Did you know that it still uses the outdated P14B configuration for its power chamber? I mean, I know you all survived the end of the world, but using this as is would be like living in squalor and the apocalypse. Listen, I know you've done a lot for me already. Got me out of that sunken bunker and let me stay here. It means a lot. No. I need a TF-85B adapter to improve the visual fidelity of the scanner, but those were being phased out when I launched decades ago. So, now I need to be the one to adapt, or else. Right? Right? Oh well. Anyway, no, I don't really have what I need, but I'm making do. I think I can muddle through this.
if I do not get more
You saw my wreck, didn't you?
I will blow up you.
I don't know how else to prove it to you. You know, it's equally surprising to me that you've survived all of this. It's good that wonders never cease, right? It's hard. I don't know what to say. It's more than I ever expected could happen. This wasn't even in the realm of possibilities when I launched. But it could have been worse. You need to remember that. Copy. Over and out.
I need to try some.
I'll try not to
hear
get in.
it's a real trip.
Oh, well, you just look at this fancy thing. Not even a dent on it. Could use some soldering to fit in this old console, but... nothing I can't handle. In the meantime, I found some sort of emergency supplies crate that must have splintered off while the ship broke apart. Might just be a crate of space food, but maybe it's got some emergency contact codes for the satellites. Heck, it Could even be my personal crate full of my Unstoppables comics that I foolishly brought with me to space. Hey, I thought I'd have time. They let me take a crate of personal items. We weren't supposed to be in deep sleep the whole time, you know. Yes, but I'm not sure how accurate the data is, or if anything has scavenged it. It's hard to tell much more until I install the upgrade module. I doubt it is. Probably all burned up on re-entry, sadly. I had a full collection. Ugh. Anyway, I'm sure it's astronaut food or something else that the USSA thought I might need. Listen, I know you've done a lot for me already. Got me out of that sunken bunker and let me stay here. It means a lot. Ugh, we're headed for movie. Doesn't even have emergency contact information in it. I never expected to use this. Clearly. Well, we can do this by ourselves, right? Time to test this newly upgraded scanner out. Found an old USSA beacon with a strong signal. It was activated here after my ship launched, which means it isn't from someone on my ship. It isn't one of my crew. The interesting thing is, this beacon should have lost power years ago, but it's still active. If you grab the beacon, I'm sure whoever is monitoring it will come looking. Let's make them find us. I'm not sure exactly, but I do know that my ship's autopilot took us here to Appalachia for a reason. Maybe this beacon is it. It has nearly full power right now. That can only mean someone is still out there replacing its power cell regularly. In the meantime, I'll cross-reference some data from the flight recorder and the scanner's readings. I need to find my crew, and I think I'm close. Remember, when you pick up the beacon, whatever you do, do not press any red buttons, do not ingest it, and do not sell it to commies. I have so many questions. Just how? Why? I was saying goodbye to everybody, and they're really gone. I think I understand what has happened from stray broadcasts to some degree. I guess it was war. And somehow, this is the world that survived. I can't even put all of this into words right now. My memories of everything from before all of this are so fresh. Just below the surface. I was just there. That's unexpectedly thoughtful of you. I was just thinking about an old holotape game that I used to play, but they won't work on this console. Maybe I could adapt it though. So, if you run across one later, can you let me know? Sure, of course. I guess this is all ancient history now, I guess. Jeez. Including me, well, we had a crew of 4. All scientists and engineers. The plan was to use the deep sleep pods and record the biological data. We wanted to know if there were medical uses, you know? We had tried it out on Earth already with volunteers, but not in space. It wasn't that complicated. Honestly, I felt like we had the resources for a much more complex experiment. But I guess they wanted to take it slow. I think it helps with the side effects, but just not the major bursts of pain. I appreciate it, though. It helps me sleep better. Before we launched, I had a lot of anxiety. Made it hard for me to sleep, so I'd listen to ocean noises, whale singing. Always put me right out. The stim pack does help. Not a ton, but it takes the edge off at least. Thanks for asking, friend. Roger. Stay safe out there. I suspect the owner of this beacon will come and find us. I know I would. But until then, well, there's something here that we should look into. I noticed a strange signal that was heading right for us. It seems like after the signal approached this place, it just spun around and took off. It was strange. Sudden. Think you could just sneak over there and poke your head in? If they seem problematic, maybe stop them somehow? I don't know. I noticed another USSA signal approach it a bit ago, and then they both disappeared completely for a moment. And only this one reappeared. I'm not sure what that means, but there are only a few reasons why a signal disappears. Death is one of them. I can't tell what it's doing there exactly, but it's moving around, so I think it's alive? Or I guess it could be a robot. Okay, just be careful. I wish I could tell what it is. It just seems so unnatural. But what does that mean in a world like this? Listen, this could be a trap. Or it could be just a big misunderstanding. I can't really say for sure. Just be careful. I did! Last time you were gone, I went on a short stroll. Didn't go far. But I saw some weird stuff. Just bizarre. Saw a giant, huge, greenish man with a two-headed cow. He was selling things. Super nice fellow. He said he would stop by later. Said he hopes to check on me when he can. I can't wait. It's such a shock, but also amazing. It felt like nothing else. I remember spinning in space, eyes fixed on Earth, unable to look away. So far away. So perfect. I'm not sure they do. We had one of those on the ship, and it landed with me. But it wasn't aggressive. I don't know. But they really aren't taking a direct line to attack me either. Maybe they're damaged or have been corrupted somehow. Affirmative. Up. Maybe they have some information on my crew. friend of yours? Who are you? You seem so familiar.
Well, you look exactly the same. I never believed... I wondered who picked up my beacon. Well, I'll be damned.
Emerson? Dr. Emerson Hale. Is that you?
Welcome. Back to Earth, I guess. Welcome to Appalachia.
I don't even know what to say. I never expected to see you here. My ship crashed a while ago, and I was fortunate to find someone who took me in. I'm trying to find my crew, but I've had some horrible headaches.
So, you're staying at this place. I guess you really decided to jump into modern Appalachian life, huh? I didn't mean to be offensive. Your home is fine. I'm not creative in that way. I mean, I squat in an old military base right now. I hope your Good Samaritan here has helped you out with more than just a place to, crash.
He has helped me out quite a lot already, actually. Brought back a USSA beacon, and also took care of some hostile robots.
I see. Well, is there anything I can help with while I'm here? Supplies, medicine, questions, I guess? Sure is. For a while, I had hoped I could contact somebody else to monitor the deep sleep mission until we could figure something out. They weren't in the escape capsule, I take it? Well, that is unfortunate.
They could have survived, though, right?
Maybe. I've heard a couple scavengers say that parts of the ship have already been scrapped. Same goes for any other ship debris. Best to just move on. It's honestly shocking that you survived as it is. I'm serious. My best guess probably ran out of fuel and the autopilot guided it to the nearest USSA facility. Oh, what does it matter? She lived! What a miracle! We had some emergency kits back in the day. They were specifically designed to help people emerge from deep sleep. I bet I could find some of those. There's a bunch of them out there. Seems that their algorithms got scrambled or something. Who can say? They used to come after me, but it seems like they have a higher priority target now. Expand your scanner to look for signatures at a constant speed. That should pick them up. They aren't that complicated.
I think we can handle that. My friend here is pretty clever, so I'm sure we can figure out a way to deal with them. Maybe permanently.
That's good. I'm glad you're making friends already.
I am too. So much has changed. I mean, you know better than most. Care to catch me up to speed?
That will be quite the chat. You've missed a lot. And I still don't really get what happened. But that's a talk for another time, perhaps. Anyway, look, I need to go. I'll be back another time and we can chat some more. Okay?
Okay, Emerson. Dear Emerson. My friend and I have a signal to track down. Looks like it might be some ship debris. So come back later, if you want to know what we found.
Mm-hmm. Bye now.
It was an Assaultron, huh? Probably one of the old USSA robots. Strange. I would have figured they would all be in standby mode now. But I need to know for sure. I found some wreckage from the rest of the ship that has one of their suit beacons. Maybe all of them are there. Can you go and see what's there? It might just be empty wreckage, but I need to know. Yes, I believe the other crew members were in a separate part of the ship. The signal moved a bit. Could be survivors, could be scavengers. What are the chances they also ran into a benevolent Appalachian survivor who invited them to live in a charming wilderness abode? If you do find them, then we'll have to make room for them here, right? Bunk beds, maybe? There would be 3 others, you know. It's possible that you won't find anything there. It might just be rubble, or maybe it's been scavenged by animals. It's hard to know. In the meantime, I picked up an issue of The Unstoppables from a visiting trader the other day. Maybe it'll help me relax. For an hour, maybe. Just before getting into our deep sleep pods. The Earth was stunning. Hanging there, alone, in a void of stars. Oh, I felt like I couldn't look away, even if I wanted to. But also, I didn't want to. He used to work with me at the USSA. Seems like he started working elsewhere after I went to space sometime. I never expected to see him here, but I never expected to be in Appalachia either. Makes me wonder about why my ship crashed here, you know? I know it had emergency landing protocols to take it somewhere near certain USSA sites, but I don't know. I never thought I needed to know. I wish I knew. My ship's robots certainly didn't care about me at all. It didn't even check on me, and I know it saw me. Yeah, of course. The Unstoppables, Silver Shroud, all of that. Mistress of Mystery was my favorite, of course. I was hoping that the new television show for the Mistress of Mystery would be out when I returned. But guess not. Roger. Stay safe out there. Okay. I've gotta admit, I was kind of hoping you'd find my Unstoppables collection. So, that's it then. They're gone. Thank you for looking into this. And for being a friend. It means a lot to me. I need to focus on something else for a bit, you know? I need to do something productive. I've pinpointed one of them using Emerson's tip. So, let's start with this one. Looks similar, but might be a different type. Strange thing is, its mobility patterns are very similar. It was heading towards us, and then it turned around and went to this location, and stayed there. I think Emerson was right. It just seems like they have corrupt targeting data or something. Not right now. Not really. I'd rather just keep busy for a bit. I'll monitor it here and see if anything about its signal changes radically. I'm wondering if it shows signs of expecting this confrontation. When you were out the other day, I tried to shoot some sort of giant insect. Took a lot longer than I thought. I'm working on it, though.
I wonder what you play.
Oh, sure. Let's see. I don't really want to talk about my family because, well, I don't even know if they... Okay, so, hobbies. I had a small apartment near the USSA headquarters. Nothing special. I wasn't home much, you see. When I had time, I used to go to the comic book shop down the road. Sit and drink coffee, read the latest issues of the Unstoppables. I used to want to work for the Mistress of Mystery when I was a kid. But I did the next best thing, I guess. Went to space. Sure. Maybe that will help with the pain. Dr. Bernard was our engineer. Worked exclusively on the sleeping pods. Very by-the-books type guy. Specialist Novak had been on a few missions before this one. Always seemed distracted. But, well, it was a stressful mission. Dr. Lee was our ship's engineer. And a robotics expert. We all went out to celebrate the night before liftoff. Feels like it was only yesterday. I guess it doesn't matter if it feels like it was only yesterday. It was a long time ago. And we really do. In this world, it's hard to imagine how anybody can survive all alone anymore. I'm glad I don't have to be alone. And I'm very glad that I'm here with you. Roger. Stay safe out there. I could get used to it here. Thanks for taking me. It means a lot. Hey, friend. Welcome back. Look who's back. I'm bearing gifts.
Figured I would stop by and give you this emergence kit. It should help with your headaches for a little while.
You don't know how relieved I am to hear that. The headaches have been excruciating at times. I could barely think.
Glad to help. So, last time we spoke, you both were tracking down the crew signal. What did you find? I figured as much. Just found parts of his suit, I'm guessing. That's basically a body.
There was almost nothing in the wreckage. They had no chance. Why weren't they in the main emergency capsule with me? They would have been safe in there.
Maybe that's true. It's all in the past, though. Focus on things you can actually change. For example, those robots. Have you found any more? See? I told you. Probably a rogue programmer. Some sort of hippie that wanted to cause chaos.
The robot's signature was a partial match for some other signals in the area, so I thought we might investigate those. It seems linked.
Seems like a waste of time to me. You have your answers. Nowak, Lee, Bernard? You're all dead. Long dead. You're not. Move on. Live your life. Build onto this Appalachian home with your good Samaritan friend here. Die low. Not really. But, backtrace the program's signal that you picked up. Sophia can figure it out from there.
Thanks for the emergence kit, Emerson. Come back later, okay?
I'm tracking down some more of them with my contacts, so I'll be back later.
I need to
Stay
try
out of
some.
trouble, please.
I hear it's a real trip.
I'm glad to have another emergence kit, but I'm annoyed that Emerson doesn't think anything is worth investigating. You know? Speaking of which, when you approached that robot, I detected a frequency disruption. Maybe it was sending a signal. But to whom? The signal is tagged with a code that indicates it is a high-security holotape related to the Deep Sleep mission. Emerson's emergence kit helped a bit, but headaches are very persistent. I could almost keep time with the spikes of pain. I mean, who would care now, right? Listen to it if you want. I can't guarantee it'll be interesting. I'm not sure what it is exactly. But if you are a communist or a sympathizer, then it might trigger some sort of explosion or brainwave obstruction thing. I can't remember. They just used to tell us that to scare us, I think.
There's a
I never tested it out, though.
between Rose and me.
It's got to be something significant. This could give me some closure here, finally. Then I can move on, like Emerson suggested. Truthfully, it was a blur. We were sent up as a team, and we were in our deep sleep pods in under an hour after achieving a stable orbit. But that single hour? Oof, it was exhilarating. Sort of. Right before you killed it, the robot sent out some signals to specific targets. I think it pinged my console, too. It was hard to tell if anything changed, though. My headache was back in full force, so I had to lie down. I could barely see. I expect that another USSA robot will be activated and sent after us soon, so maybe we can try again. Call me Sophia, please, after what we've been through. After all, I'm in your ship now. That makes you the commander here. Roger. Stay safe out there.
How about you stop wasting my time?
Doesn't seem to be anything on this holotape at all. But it's definitely labeled as part of the Deep Sleep project.
I will be touching you.
So, let's see if we can dig up anything on the pods themselves. Documentation, user manuals, Dr. Bernard's designs, anything really. I believe you. I don't know why exactly, but I feel like I knew it was more than just relaxing ocean sounds. Dr. Bernard designed it to help us sleep for long periods of time and space. It clearly worked. Maybe too. Something just seems unsettling about the whole thing. I'll start to investigate other signals too. I wish that whale song holotape wasn't whatever it is. It would be soothing to listen to that right about now. This world is so peculiar, so dangerous. And I'm just amazed at the fact that life continues, you know? So, how did you survive all of this?
I have lots of hobbies. Raging. Murder. Raging.
I can respect that. Calculate the risks, and pass on anything that isn't reasonable. Safe and sound. It just makes sense. Later on, I'll modify my scanner to pick up on caches of armor and other helpful resources. Tools, first aid, etc. Not without risk, but worth it. Just whale song, repeating. So pleasant.
I love the smell.
Headache sort of melted away. Okay, I'm from Chicago. Parents moved there when I was little. After college, I went to the DC area and applied for the astronaut program a couple of times until I was accepted. Oh, my folks were so proud. Other than that, I had a few relationships, nothing serious. I had a pet turtle for most of my life. That was pretty serious. I don't know. That's the high-level overview, anyway. I'm not a weirdo, if that was what we're asking.
This can't good news. More corpses. Get out of my way.
Roger. Stay safe out there. Those whale sounds again. It unsettling. I think I was sleeping. They said waking from deep sleep could be disorienting. This is unreal. Or surreal. It's nice to be around people again. You found something related to the deep sleep mission? Okay, let's see. Okay, here's my plan. I found some old medical data from the USSA stored nearby, and I want you to look for a copy of my records there. Maybe 5 or 6 times, I suppose. Every couple months for the 2 years prior to launch, anyway.
This is sure is
Huh.
a
I think that's a fine question for Emerson, honestly. Something just isn't right here. I'm sort of terrified to see these medical records. I just need to relax for a bit. I got an issue of Tesla Science from a trader who stopped by recently, so, I'll probably dive into that. Yes, the Protect drone has been circling the camp. It hasn't approached yet, though, so I'm gonna monitor it for data and then we can go after it. I think it's collecting data about us, so I'm waiting to see who it's sending the data to, if I can. I mean, who doesn't, right? You don't happen to have any, do you? Oh, now that would be a warm blanket on a cold night. Oh, there is nothing quite like curling up with a good game. Oh, this brightens my day. Dr. Bernard was one of the scientists that I worked with in the USSA. He was an engineer, mostly mechanical. I knew he had developed the sleeping pods for this mission, so that wasn't particularly new information for me. But it looks like there's something about the sleeping pod establishing a sensory link between the user and something else. I don't know what that is. And also, Emerson was the supervisor for this project. So he absolutely does know what this was about. In detail. That is not how it was presented to us. It was supposed to maintain our ambient health levels, and that's it. Nothing else. The schematics say the pod was designed to help transfer sensory data. To what end? Well, right now, I think we need to track down some medical records. Then, maybe we can... Oh. I'll keep that in mind, friend. Affirmative. Out. Hey, thanks for letting us stay here.
I am going to have a wild night with the captain.
Tell me you're not still chasing ghosts.
Emerson, what did you know about Dr. Bernard's deep sleeper pods?
I knew some of it. I was just a manager. I didn't really read the technical mumbo-jumbo.
You're back. Just in time for the three of us to discuss what we found.
Tell me you're not still chasing ghosts.
Emerson, what did you know about Dr. Bernard's deep sleeper pods?
I knew some of it. I was just a manager. I didn't really read the technical mumbo-jumbo.
I could save time if I just steal supplies.
Transfer the medical records to my console, please. I need to see. What were they doing? Emerson, tell me.
It was a biomedical thing with Arctos. I don't know the details anymore. It was literally decades ago. You get that, right?
It wasn't decades ago to me.
All right. Arctos Pharma and the USSA made a deal to use some serum in the Deep Sleep Project. They made it, but it didn't work. Okay?
Okay, that's enough for now. Emerson, could you please leave? Maybe try to remember something helpful for next time.
Right, fine, I will. I should. I meant to. I just got distracted.
If I don't get a good cut, I will be cutting you. I wonder what human flesh tastes like.
Heck, we just have to move forward here. That's what the Mistress of Mystery would do when she was betrayed. If this stuff caused my headaches, then maybe they made an antidote? It's a start anyway. Yes. I'm not a doctor, but it seems like they used the serum to reduce my brain's higher functions. So something else could... I don't know what. I signed up for space, not abuse. I can tell he feels guilty about something. I'm not sure if he's lying boldly or by omission, though. While I was looking for the Deep Sleeper Pod documents a while ago, I found another location that might have stuff like old USSA contracts. He's always seemed a bit odd, honestly. Even back before I launched. We used to be friends in college, but people change so much in college. It's been soothing to play games again. A few moments of normalcy once more. I think it even helps my headache a bit. He has to be hiding something. I need to know what happened. I need to know what he knows. It is. It really is. I know I've said it before, but thanks for letting me, crash here. Copy. Over and out. Hearing those whale songs again is figures. He wasn't just a manager. He made the offer himself. Maybe I can find out more about this serum, though. In the meantime, let's just eliminate that rogue USSA robot that's lurking around monitoring us. It gives me the creeps. That's a big question. I guess I just want to know why, so I can move on in this weird new world. Some closure, you know? Then I can start to figure this place out. I can start fresh. Maybe I can help you out for a change. I think they're being intercepted. I think they get close, and then something updates their algorithm, and they leave. But who is doing that? Or why? I don't have enough data to make a hypothesis. Back in my college days, we used to watch robots fight in the basement of the science building. We used to joke about how scary that would be. You know, if they ever came after us all, that kind of thing. strange. I haven't even really considered it much. I can't imagine anything beyond these headaches right now. And finding out what they did. But I guess, well, I hope whatever happens, we're still together.
I think
We make a good team.
between Rose and me.
You know, I did. What does that mean? It was a sudden spike, right behind the eyes. No, nothing. Looks like it was going on for years. How? How could this have happened without me knowing anything? The year or two prior to going on the mission, we just tried to relax. They gave us meditation tapes so we could get adjusted to the silence of space. Some had white noise, others had thunderstorm sounds. I listened to whale songs. Clearly, whale songs were more effective than I thought. Agreed. It seems like some sort of experimental biomedical formula. It might be worth checking records about Arctos. Maybe they knew something? I'll be here, friend.
I have lots of hobbies. Raiding. Murder. Raiding. Intruder. Identified.
Same as the other USSA robots. Right before you arrived, it sent out 2 signal bursts. One to a robo-brain and another to something else. Are you with me on this, my friend? Can I count on you? Please, call me Sophia. And thank you. It means so much after everything else has been changed. You've been here for me the whole time. I couldn't have done any of this without you, you know. And that means a lot to me. Locating that medical cache that has that serum wasn't actually as hard as I thought it might be. Hopefully it'll be a milk run to pick up too. I suddenly realized that the expression milk run might not have much of a meaning in this apocalyptic world. You know, since everything is dangerous now. Huh.
I know where you
Honestly,
sleep at night.
I'm not sure. Part of me just wants to see it. To see what they used.
I am
To
going
know what was
to have
real,
a
I
wild
guess.
night with these gems.
Confirmed. Mission is go. Affirmative. Up. Copy. Over and out. It's probably decades old and unusable by now, but it might tell us something. I'm not a chemist, though. Maybe... Not much. Headaches still come and go. And it's hard to sleep through those. I'd give anything for these headaches to end. I hear you. I thought they were coming after me, but I'm not sure. Maybe they have other motives, too. Safer to just deal with them, though. Really? I was worried for a bit that you might be, unenthused about taking care of some random stray, even though my options were clearly heavily limited by the, entire world situation. The only decent thing so far has been meeting you.
Sometimes I think about burning this camp down.
Affirmative.